Abu Trica is playing his game very well in order to buy some time for himself and possibly be granted bail. But trust wicked blogger Ghana, it won't work. This sickness he is currently battling is real, yes, but it is also a very common trick pulled by suspects involved in serious fraud cases once the law tightens its grip on them. This is not new, and it has been seen over and over again in high-profile financial crime cases where the accused suddenly develops health complications shortly after bail is denied. After days of widespread speculation, wicked blogger Ghana's independent checks have confirmed that Abu Trica has indeed fallen sick while in custody. He has been complaining bitterly about the kind of food he is being served and the conditions under which he is being kept, describing them as far below his personal hygienic standards. These complaints have now resulted in a court order mandating that he be transferred to a hospital for treatment, with the cost being borne by the state, meaning the Ghanaian taxpayer is once again forced to pay. The Gbese District Court has directed that Frederick Kumi, popularly known as Abu Trica, be sent to a medical facility while still in custody. This directive comes only days after his first court appearance, where he was firmly denied bail. That denial was not accidental, emotional, or politically motivated. It was based on the gravity of the allegations against him and the serious risk factors surrounding the case. Let it be clearly stated without sugarcoating anything. Falling sick after bail is denied is one of the oldest delay strategies in the book. It is used to slow proceedings, to create room for legal maneuvering, to soften public opinion, and in some cases, to lay the groundwork for a renewed bail application. Wicked blogger Ghana has covered numerous cases where suspects suddenly became medically unfit for detention the moment they realized the system was not bending for them. However, Abu Trica's case is different, and this is where many people are getting it wrong. This is not just a local Ghanaian issue that can be dragged until public interest fades. This is a case with serious international implications, and that is why no amount of sickness, hospital admission, or emotional appeal will make it slide. We are reliably informed that the $8 million scam Abu Trica is linked to is not something that can be wished away with hospital beds and sympathy. The FBI does not play games, and they do not excuse fraud because a suspect feels uncomfortable in custody or dislikes the food being served. International fraud cases are pursued with patience, precision, and persistence. And when the net finally closes, it closes completely. It is important to also address the issue of comfort. Custody is not designed to preserve the lifestyle of individuals who once lived lavishly. It is not meant to meet the personal hygiene expectations of people who were used to luxury. Many suspects experience real physical and psychological shock once they are removed from comfort and placed under strict detention conditions. That shock can indeed manifest as illness, but illness does not cancel accountability. What makes this situation even more painful is the fact that Ghana's struggling economy is now being dragged into the matter. While ordinary citizens battle long hospital queues, lack of beds, and out-of-pocket medical expenses, a suspect in a multi-million-dollar fraud case is receiving treatment funded by the state. This is not about denying him medical care. It is about the bitter reality that the ordinary Ghanaian always pays the price when things go wrong at the top. Wicked blogger Ghana wants the public to understand one thing very clearly. This sickness episode may buy time, but it will not buy freedom. It may slow the process slightly, but it will not stop it. Bail was denied for strong reasons, including the seriousness of the alleged crime, the potential risk of flight, and the international interest surrounding the case. None of these factors disappear because of hospital admission. Abu Trica can complain about food, hygiene, and discomfort all he wants, but the law is not moved by inconvenience. This is not a popularity contest, and it is not a pity-driven process. The system is watching, international partners are watching, and the consequences will come, whether today or tomorrow. Wicked blogger Ghana remains firm on this position. This is a familiar game, and it has been exposed. The sickness is real, but the strategy behind it is even more real. And in this particular case, it will not work. Let us stop pretending and call this situation exactly what it is. Abu Trica is not the first suspect to suddenly fall sick in custody, and he will not be the last. But what separates his case from the many others is the scale, the international reach, and the amount of money involved. This is not small-time crime. This is not boys' fraud. This is serious business And that is why all these moves being played now are nothing but desperation. Wicked blogger Ghana can confidently state that the sickness angle is not meant to heal Abu Trica. It is meant to stall justice. Every extra day spent in hospital is another day. Proceedings slow down. Every medical report becomes another document lawyers can lean on. Every sympathy headline becomes a tool to reshape public perception. This is textbook behavior. And anyone who has followed fraud cases long enough knows exactly how this movie usually starts. But here's where the script changes. And this is where Abu Trica and his camp are miscalculating badly. This case is not being watched by only local prosecutors. It is being watched by international agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And once they are involved, the luxury of buying time disappears. The FBI does not rush, but they also do not forget. They do not get distracted by hospital beds, and they do not suddenly lose interest because a suspect is uncomfortable. An alleged $8 million scam is not something that gets waved away with excuses. That amount alone places this matter in a different category altogether. At that level, investigations are already documented, evidence is already backed up, trails are already mapped, and timelines are already fixed. The process may look slow on the surface, but underneath, everything is moving exactly as planned. This is why wicked blogger Ghana keeps stressing that the sickness, no matter how real, changes nothing. It does not erase records. It does not undo transactions. It does not reverse digital footprints. It does not magically return lost funds. And it certainly does not make international law enforcement suddenly develop sympathy. What makes the situation even uglier is the attempt to turn detention conditions into the main conversation. Complaints about food quality, hygiene, and discomfort are being pushed as if they are shocking revelations. They are not. Custody is meant to restrict, not to pamper. It is meant to be uncomfortable enough to remind suspects that freedom is gone. People who once lived on champagne budgets always struggle when reduced to standard detention meals. That shock is not injustice. It is reality catching up. Let's also be honest with ourselves. If Abu Trica were a poor, unknown suspect with no name recognition, there will be no loud sympathy campaign. There will be no social media noise. There will be no emotional framing. He will be just another detainee dealing with the system quietly. The only reason this situation is being amplified is because of who he is alleged to be and the lifestyle many believe he once enjoyed. And yet, even with all this noise, bail was denied. That alone should tell the public everything. Courts do not deny bail casually, especially in cases that attract attention. Bail denial is a clear signal that the risks are high, the allegations are heavy, and the consequences are serious. No amount of hospital transfer changes that legal reality. Wicked blogger Ghana also finds it deeply troubling that Ghana's economy is being dragged into this mess. The same economy struggling to support teachers, nurses, and ordinary citizens is now paying medical bills for a suspect accused of helping siphon millions of dollars. The irony is painful. While ordinary Ghanaians die quietly due to lack of funds, someone accused of international fraud gets state-funded care. That contradiction alone should make people angry. Let it be said plainly, this is not about cruelty. It is about accountability. Medical care is a right, yes, but justice is also a duty. And justice does not pause because a suspect is uncomfortable or suddenly unwell. The law is patient, and international law is even more patient. It waits, it watches, and when the time comes, it moves decisively. Wicked blogger Ghana wants to make this clear without any fear or favor. Abu Trica can delay, but he cannot escape. He can lie on a hospital bed, but the case will still be standing when he gets up. He can gain a few days or weeks, but the $8 million question will still be waiting for answers. This is not the type of matter that fades away with time. If anything, time only tightens the grip. The public should not be deceived. This is not weakness from the system. This is not sympathy taking over. This is simply the law following due process while the net remains firmly in place. And when that net finally closes, sickness, stories, food complaints, and hygiene arguments will mean absolutely nothing. This is Wicked Blogger Ghana, and we are telling you straight. The game has been seen, the tactics are familiar, and the ending will not change.